Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela 321, and we're live with another edition of Notes on the News, where I read to you headlines from my news feed and I share with you my thoughts and perspective on those headlines. If I have any thoughts and perspective to share on the headlines, on the article, on the subject matter at large, on whatever, I'm going to share it. If I have anything to share, you might share something too. We don't know. Drop it in the comments. Hey, welcome on the chat. But it's not news. It's just my notes on the news. So this gives us an opportunity to get a gestalt, the big picture, the overview. We're not looking at the trees, but we're trying to look at the forest. We don't want to get distracted by just the trees. We want to see the forest. Hey, Rowdy Chica. Hey, Sonia C's. Welcome in, Miss Ladies. So that's what I got. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for your like. I appreciate it as you come in, whether you're watching live or on the replay or the recording. And just drop a like. It's like when you come to somebody's house and you bring them a fruit bowl. Thank you. A bottle of wine. Don't bring me no bottle of wine, but you bring me a apple, some dates. That's how it is. We're working on 1,000 subscribers. So by being here, liking, sharing, commenting, all of that stuff, subscribing, you contributing, and I appreciate your contribution. Let us proceed with notes on the news feed. Did I say I'm Angela? And the channel is some sweet potato pie? Right. I do like sweet potato pie. I hardly ever eat it. I usually get fruit pies, but I really, really do. There used to be this place in it was a restaurant called Kieran Dye. It was a Senegalese restaurant in Brooklyn on Fulton Street in, not Park Slope, in Fort Greene. I wonder if it's still there. They had the best ginger and the best sweet potato pie. I didn't even know Senegalese people ate sweet potato pie. But it was really, really good. It was good. It was sweet, but then the cream was real nice with it. See, I don't even really eat like that anymore, so I guess it's good. I'm not tempted because I almost want to go to Brooklyn right now. Sweden's deadly problem with hand grenades. So the article was like somebody was riding a bike and they saw something in the path. His wife was ahead of him. He stopped to pick whatever it was up. It was a hand grenade. He blew up. His wife, he blew up and made his transition, I believe. And his wife, was affected by the explosion as well. And, it's like kind of common because I guess when you buy the guns from the gangsters, they throw in hand grenades as a lagniappe, like here's a little gift with purchase. That's kind of how the article made it seem. There's a whole movement, I guess, throughout the world to, anti-immigrants. The problem is the Somalian immigrants. But they say that 1% of the people in jail are Somalian immigrants and 1% of the people in jail are another ethnicity of immigrants. So basically, the official people are saying immigrants are not the issue. That's not the issue. That's not the problem. And some of the people are like conservative. They kind of have the same type of vibration as the Brexit people, as the zero administration people here in this country. And they we got to get these immigrants out. So thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Yay. So, that's deep to me. I never thought of, I guess when I one time I had purchased a gun and I think that they gave me the fake, blanks as a gift with purchase. So I guess, didn't nobody give me a grenade, but I guess they probably figured I wasn't interested in a grenade. So Samoa wants nothing to do with drunken sailors. So people are getting jobs on as sailors on cruise ships, on different things outside of the country of Samoa. And what the concern is, and the leadership of Samoa is telling, are going to explode in race riots in Europe. Yeah. It seemed like something is brewing, So what the people are, the leadership of Samoa is like, look, you know, that money that y'all make being sailors is good money when you send it home to help your family. When you out here, you remember your family, you remember your community, you do the right thing. Don't be out here acting crazy, spending your money on cheap entertainment, which I think they mean like hoes and prostitutes, and drink. Don't be out here drunk and embarrassing your family and your community. I was kind of like, oh. So it was like a group of 70 soldiers, sailors, not soldiers, but sailors, but not sailors like in the military, but like sailors like on cruise ships. Like they're like, oh, they make $16,000 a month. I think it's good advice too. That $16,000 a month is going to help this. It helps this economy here. So don't be getting out there drunk and messing it up. You know, don't be redistributing the money they just paid to you right back to them in cheap alcohol. Meek Mill sends dire message to Black youth in Don Lemon interview. You are already a target. Now, I was kind of confused. It was like dire message. And I was like, what's the dire message? And then he like, you already a target. I'm like, now is that new? Is that a news flash? Is that like a message? That's not secret. That seemed like that's obvious. Yeah, but anyway, I guess that Don Lemon is interviewing Meek Mill. Check. We already know that. That's what I'm like. I was like, what's the message? And I'm like, oh, if it was a message in the bottle, I guess that bottle came 300-400 years ago. Czech, like Czechoslovakia, Czech rum gets stay of execution after EU ruling, European Union. So it's something in the rum that they say causes cancer. But they gave the people, you know, look, you got 5 years to reformulate the rum to not cause cancer because it's really popular. But I'm like, so in the meantime, just, you know, keep on drinking the rum. You know, good evening, my brother. The underrated darkness, welcome in. So yeah, that's what's going on with there. Airbnb just opened an office of healthy tourism. Now, we have talked a couple of times about this whole San Francisco housing crisis, but what I didn't realize, or I guess I had heard it before, but I wasn't making the connection between the fact that people are like, instead of you paying me $600 a month for rent or $1,000 a month for rent, shoot, I could get $200 a day. I could make that $1,000 in like 5 or 10 days by putting my house on Airbnb or whatever. So I'm not renting, you know, to nobody. I'm only renting to tourists. So it's like jacking up. That's contributing to the housing crisis in San Francisco, according to this article. But then this article also said that like Airbnb is kind of like messing up local economies like that all over the country. But they gave an example of Detroit, you know, as one municipality that tried to cancel Airbnb. Now, that whole Detroit example was not a good example because that's not, if it is a good example, I had no idea. Because the one person that I know who has an Airbnb, he lives in the house, he's revamping the house. It's like like the article I read, it's like it's a source of income for a lot of people. And maybe that's just the other side of, you know, the coin. Like, you know, the other people are like, they keep cameras in bedrooms and bathrooms. Well, they definitely are, you know, there have definitely been accounts. I don't think they're any more racist than the rest of the society, but there have definitely been accounts of people who are like, oh, we don't have a room. I'm sorry, you black? We don't have a room or whatever. Like the same bull you can expect anywhere. But, you know, maybe the people in San Francisco are like, shoot, I need to make this big wet renting out my Airbnb so that I can pay rent here in San Francisco. So, you know, maybe $600 extra a month, which is the average that people in Detroit were getting, is the equivalent of, you know, $6,000 a month that people in San Francisco are getting. You know, I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, it's like a hotel. You could rent a hotel and use it to shoot gay porno. I mean, anything you rent, you could use it. I mean, once you rent it, you know, nobody, I guess you're saying they have cameras in them, but I'm like, you know, you rent it to do whatever you want. So if you into shooting gay porn, you can, wherever you rent, you know. So But they're trying to, instead of being like, it's 1,000,000 people in the world who travel and they always go to these same 100 places. With 1,000,000 people in the world traveling, they should be going to 1,000,000 different places, which I kind of agree. It seemed like with a lot of things, the owner was pissed, but you were right. Oh, I would be pissed too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're when you're dealing with the public in that way, it's kind of, you dealing with the public. So I'm like, it's not like, I mean, I guess in a way you can vet people, but so they're trying to encourage people to, hey, Frank G, they're trying to encourage people to go to, instead of just going to Detroit, go to Highland Park, go to Cleveland. It's all kinds of stuff out here to do. So anyway, why some businesses hide that they are Black owned. And I told y'all when I had my consignment shop down south, people would ask me a lot. Like they come in, and people were telling me, you should stop telling people that you own the shop. You should just tell people you work here because it's not going to help your business. A beautiful retreat in Africa would be golden. Wish I had money to build one. We'll keep visualizing. The people that spent time in South Africa just a minute ago, I think they're about to build a B&B in South Africa, or they're thinking about it, exploring it. I've been watching a couple people on YouTube who do who have Costa Rican, not like bed and breakfasts, like they call them guest house, but I think they're the equivalent of a bed and breakfast. So yeah, I mean, I feel like put that on your vision board, Yeah, make it happen. Well, yeah, maybe when you write the $1 million blockbuster, who knows? I mean, it's all of that, but put it on your vision board. Say it, claim it, enjoy it, envision it, see how it feels, smell it, be in it. So people are like, stop telling people that you own the business because people aren't going to want to patronize you. And they're talking about also a lot of, people on their website. They try to it might be 3 Black people who own it, but like on the website, you can, if it's like 10 images, only one of them is Black. You know what I mean? Or brown. They don't want anybody to know that, they're Black owned because they think that, people would not deal with them and not patronize them, which I actually think is sort of true. I think that there are some people who would go out of their way to patronize Black businesses. And then I think that there are some people who go out of their way to not patronize Black businesses. But I think that, there's like this generalized, maybe I shouldn't even say that, but I do think that it's true that there are some people. But I always feel like, when you hide who you are and you pretend to be someone else, and I guess that's easy to say, like, well, if you don't want to give me money because of who I am, then keep your stinking money. But, when you got bills to pay and kids to feed, who am I to be like, well, keep your stinking, I might be like, no, I don't own it. I just work here. I'm so happy I got a J.O.B., So that's coming off of Moguldom, I guess my new favorite blog that I'm not subscribed to. Yeah. I don't know what Africa Imports is. I know when I worked at the Black Hole Collective, a lot of the products that we got were white, more Asian, as in Indian. Indians seem to be like a big, to me, the Indians and, Asians, some white, but some you wouldn't necessarily know. Oh, yeah. And then some of these companies start off as Black owned and then people buy them, So it's sort of like you kind of have to stay. Like I think Shea Moisture started off as Black. I don't know. I don't want to say any names, but it's like a big company that people was like, they built themselves. Black women built them and now they turning their back on Black. They were getting a whole bunch of bad attention from Black folks a few months ago. I think it's Shea Moisture, but I don't remember. But but companies get sold all the time too. You know, a lot of these, I noticed it with like food and nutrition. A lot of like companies start off and they're like, yes, we believe in feeding people good food. And then over time, they might be purchased by General Mills. And that's not necessarily General Mills' philosophy. And so I stopped buying their expensive stuff. And so when when I was believing in feeding people good food, I was making certain choices about how I was running the company. When General Mills buys a company, they like, we are into the bottom line. So, you know, stuff changes, and you as a consumer, you may not know, you know, and I certainly don't want to do business. You know, I like to do business with small companies. I like to do business with Black companies. I like to do business with local companies, you know, and if it's small, Black and local, woo, that's exciting. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not like, yeah. North Carolina court writes Assata Shakur $15,000 check as part of a land deal. I have my coaching business, it's called Be Fabulous You, products and services helping you to be fabulous you from the inside out and the outside in. So it's life coaching, business coaching, relationship coaching, skincare and color cosmetics, workshop or play shops, I call them, but workshops, small group workshops, large group workshops. Yeah. Okay. So Assata Shakur there's some property that's in her family, that's been in her family. And I think one part of her family name is Freeman. I was really excited about that. Yay, I'm proud of you. Part of her family name was Freeman. I always love people whose names are stuff like I own her, like I own her, like I own her. You know, although I'm like, I own me, but still, or sir, or, you know, but, her family is the last of the Freeman family descendants, sought by a private company that purchased land near Freeman Park located in Carolina Beach. So they worked out the pricing, according to this article, they worked out the price. And I guess everybody got their cut, and she hasn't gotten her cut. At first they didn't know where to send the money, they're saying, but now they know where she is. You know, she's a political refugee in Cuba. So they say they about to send her the check. I don't know if they really sending her the check, or if this is, you know, I don't know if you've ever, hey, Love Like the Sun, I don't know if you've ever seen those TV shows where they get people who have warrants and stuff out for their arrest. They send them a letter or something being like, you won a free TV, come to this location to get it. And the people are like, I won a free TV. And they go to the location, they be like, psych, clink, clink. Hey, Yapo, you locked up. You know, so I don't know if that's what they trying to do to Assata Shakur. You know, I don't know. I mean, yeah. But I was gonna say $15,000. I don't know how she's living in Cuba. But that would be a nice little bonus. But I'm also kind of curious about Freeman Park, her family name being Freeman. Like, what's going on with Freeman Park? Should we like try, like, who's bought the land for what purpose? Why didn't we know that there was like a Freeman? Who were her people? And they were free men. I wonder if like she comes from people who were, you know, some of them were not enslaved and used the name Freeman. I mean, I like when people choose their own names. So yeah. And her legal name is Joanne Chesimard. So that's part of, I don't know who in her family is this Freeman Park. That's what I want to know about. The FBI and the Office of the U.S. Attorney are now investigating whether any laws were violated as part of the deal. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's up. A neighborhood in Victorville, California is besieged by tumbleweed. That sounds like a bad C movie. Besieged by tumbleweed. What does tumbleweed do? Does it just roll and what's the problem with tumbleweed? But anyway, I'm not laughing at the town in Victorville, California, because I guess it's probably a serious thing if it's a headline, you know. But I just figured you just pushed it on out the way and kept going. I don't know about the tumbleweed. So, South Carolina prisons equivalent to living in the most dangerous city in America, experts say. So y'all know that there was like a prison. I don't know if it was a rebellion, a riot. They say that it's like very gang invested in there. They say, I don't know if that is the word from the people on the inside. I don't know if that's the propaganda. There's this whole, I went to this whole talk about Attica, and Attica happened like back in the 1970s, but that whole like talk, it was like, wow, of course, I don't know why I'm like, wow, because it's like, of course, the propaganda versus what, actually went on. And I guess I'm inclined to believe people over the propagandist government. Is that wrong? But yeah, I don't believe the government, but when you hear the account, it's just like the people wanted to, have food that wasn't moldy. The people, it's like just, the people wanted to be treated like humans. And, and then there was something having to do with Attica too that was related to the civil, like black people being active, out in the world. And so they was really trying real hard to keep their foot on these people's neck. Like, don't y'all be getting uppity just because those Negroes out there are marching. We not gonna have none of that. It was like something, I can't remember, but there was something connected with that, like retribution and revenge. And like, how some people are just mean spirited, like that kind of, just like, so, I'm fascinated about like what's going on in prisons. Cause I want to understand. Right. Private prison, slavery, revolt. I mean, is it unfortunate? Do you think that it's better to like have like a revolution and like a uprising and, just to be fighting and, the stuff be just obvious and like, out in the open? Or do you think it's better for it to just like, cause now I kind of feel like we have like, oh, everything, like to me, it's like, oh, I'm just going out, like everybody just going about their business. Like, oh, business is normal. I live in America. It's a democracy. I'm going to vote. I'm free to, go and shop and buy and work. But that's not really what's going on. That's like an illusion. Like really, like we're being warred at. And it's like, but it's like kind of under the surface. So maybe it's better, just like when people would say, well, I would rather you, stab me, just be like, I hate you, you black, you ain't boo-boo to me, stab, 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 and be like, hey, my good friend. And then I walk away and you stab, stab, stab. Like maybe revolution in the street is good. You know exactly what's going on, Although it's hard to understand what's going on, make them pee in their pants and shake in their boots. Yeah. So, yeah. Wait a sec. Oh, that Obama would pardon Assata. I mean, I feel like that's like a whole conversation. I think we're going to come into it a minute, but it's sort of like black faces and white spaces, or, these black police chiefs in these, the last 3 incidents that have happened, they have black police chiefs. And, somebody in the article is like, they're not doing right by us. And I'm like, especially a police chief, do y'all know how brutal and crazy the police union is? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're not brutal and crazy. Maybe that's just like a vicious rumor that's not true. But they seem like a straight up gang to me. Like they seem like gangsters. They seem like a mob. They seem like very aggressive and like very hostile. Like, if you try to, especially somebody like Assata Shakur, there are some things that are like symbolic or that, that have like a certain type of resonance, and they are very aggressively anti those things just on GP. And, I feel like I don't never really think about white people or whatever being like GP, but on some of that stuff, they just like on GP. No. So, when these Negroes, these black people got appointed to these positions, I'm sure them police union people got up in their face and let them know, look, Negro, your job is to have a black god doggone face. And that's it. you know, and you better support what we doing and what we tell you to support. You're not here to be advocating for black people. You're not here to speak on behalf of, like, fools, sit down and shut up. Like, I don't even think, I mean, and do you rise in that system if you have a certain orientation? I mean, even like, you know, Obama, like, I feel like, do you rise in that system if you have a certain orientation? And even like, I feel like he was trying to do some things with Cuba, but it's like, I feel like this whole sonic attack thing is actually like an attack on Obama trying to open up Cuba. And every time I read about Cuba, it's just like really amazing to me. Like I think it's in on the news feed today that who they're thinking about being the leader. But I think in the same way that Haiti is just like hated and like forever, like, oh, y'all Negroes had the nerve to revolt and to possibly cause other Negroes to revolt. Oh, we hate you forever. You will until you they mad, and that's how they are. You know, I feel like that's how they are about Cuba. You know, like it's just like we just mad. We mad. You know, that's how I feel. You know, like. So the whole Asada being in Cuba and like, you know, I just feel like it was a whole bunch of, well, I mean, I think that, you know, a government is a big thing. And so I think that he tried to move and do things. I don't want to like in the ways that he could. You know, I think he tried to like, I don't know if you study astrology, but you know how cancers, you may not know, but how crabs kind of move sideways and do, you know, like I think I don't know his heart. I never talked to him. I don't know, you know. But it's open for visitors, but they're trying to undo that. And I think that the whole, you know, the fact that there has been some progressive things that have gone on in Cuba. The fact that, you know, they invite the black folks there to go to medical school. You know, like I feel like what Cuba represents, I think he was trying to, I don't know. I mean, because, yeah, I feel like, because when everything he tried to do here is like, today I announced that, you know, it's Wednesday, April 18th. And, you know, the white people were like, no, it's not. I mean, it just seemed like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he had more power than I realized, but just looking at it from the outside, it seemed like everything he tried to do, you know, and the white Cubans in Miami are the ones who were running, you know, the big casinos and getting big American money, and, you know, they were wealthy and the country was operating a certain way and the leadership was all about making that money. And so when the revolution happens and then, you know, we giving people healthcare, we giving people education, we oriented a different way. You know, the people mad. That's my playground. That's where I go to get hoes and drink and gamble. You can't shut down my Cuba. And we run stuff the way I want to run it, not the way you want to run it. And no, it's not for the people. It's for me to go and enjoy it. I don't care nothing about, right, the rich ones came to America. And most of them, you notice how white they tend to be. You know, like we have a new wave of darker Cubans, but, you know, for you know, the original wave, were there any, like, they were like, you know, not to, I mean, yeah, blah, let me keep moving. Australians split over plans to trap urban peacocks. So are they just trapping the urban peacocks, or are they trapping the peahens too? Because the peacocks, the men, they just, whoa, with their big old feathers and all of that stuff. The first wave were lily white. That's the impression I got. But the peahens are a little more modest. And so maybe they just want to get these peacocks, you know, because they just flapping, they fanning out, they fan, and, you know, I don't know what they do that's offensive. But, you know, that's how they are with chickens too. Like when I thought, oh, I'm going to get me some chickens and I'm going to have, you know, eggs, and they say chickens are really like interesting. And when I started reading about them and buying them, and they just be like killing up the boy chickens, like boy chickens ain't boo-boo. I was like, oh my gosh, like the babies are born, and when they like girl, boy, and then all of the boys they take and they grind them up into like chicken feed or whatever. I don't know what they be, like live animals. They just like grind them up. I was just like, I'm not buying from one of those companies. I don't know what kind of cruelty is that? Who does that? Why are we doing that? So I don't know if the peacocks and peahens, the pea family is causing trouble. Yeah, because the rooster, are roosters the boys, the males? Because the roosters are like aggressive. They're the ones that crow, cock-a-doodle-doo. All of that stuff is the roosters. The women, the female hens, they lay eggs. They say the meat is tenderer or something like that. But they like, we only need like one. Roosters are males. They like, we only need one rooster for every like 800 hens. It's like, it was awful when I read about it. I'm like, I mean, God is creating what I don't know is, yeah, it was. So I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what it's like to have, like, we have pheasants that walk around in this neighborhood, but it's not enough of them to hens or females. Right. So when they have those roaster hens or whatever, like when you go to the store and you're buying chicken, I think hens are what they're selling. The chicken, the eggs come from the chicken. I think the meat, they like the roosters are good for nothing but the fertilizer, whatever, we don't need you to tell us to stay like, be quiet. I was someplace and the rooster would crow every morning. I can't remember where I was, but the first couple of days it was kind of like, but then it just became like part of the cycle. It was kind of nice. I liked it. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with the urban peacocks, and I don't like the pheasants. They cool, but it's not like a densely, but Cornish hens. Oh, I used to love me some Cornish hens. And I don't eat meat, but I used to, hey, Mary Jane, my specialty, because I started cooking when I was 10. My mama don't cook, so I taught myself to cook. But my specialty was, you cut up your potatoes and your carrots and your onions, and you put your hens on top in that bed, and then, oof. And I just thought I was so fancy. I was so... Roosters will chase you, very territorial. Yeah, I think animals are interesting. I don't know that roosters would chase you, but I probably read about it. You're making me hungry. Ooh. That used to be my specialty. So Australians are split. YouTube scandal. I said I wasn't going to say these children's name. There's a channel on YouTube called DK4L. And I've watched, it seemed like 2 years ago, I watched like 3 or 4 videos. They seem so young. Now they might be close to 30, but they seemed like they were like 22, 24. It was a little couple. And they were like traveling. And I got the impression that they were like, doing well on YouTube. A young black couple, young black couple, and they were like buying houses, or I don't know what they were doing. Vacation, and I can't even remember what little. It wasn't really anything I was that interested in. But I thought it was sweet that they were like a cute little, blackish couple, So anyway, I guess there's a rumor out here that the young man cheated on the young woman. And I hope it's not true. And if it is true, I hope that everybody is just like, it's going to be an opportunity, because they just seem so young. I hope it's like an opportunity for everybody to learn and grow. I was kind of sad to see that. So I guess they're in my thoughts and prayers. Rumor control. Oh, another rumor. Real hashtag Roa, Peter Thomas, and Shay Bucky Johnson are not dating. I hope that's not true either. That's what I'm like, who had y'all heard? Now I know somebody on here, Mary Jane, you listen to this kind of stuff. You might know better than me, because I listen, but I hadn't heard that Peter was dating Shay Bucky, Bucky just seems so like, just so wild. I don't know how anybody grown could deal with her. She seemed like the kind of woman, she probably like 30, 35, 40, right? But she seemed like the kind of woman who would just deal with like little 21-year-olds, because they seem like how he gonna be running a business and be kicking it with Shay? I don't even believe that, because she like run up in the restaurant and cut somebody out and beat them up. Or maybe that's just a character she plays on TV. Reality TV stars. But Peter is he's a restaurateur, like not really like a club man, like I think like lounges, not like clubs, like, but I think it's more like lounges, like a sports lounge or like, you know, like adult lounges. He's Jamaican. I think he's Jamaican. Shay would be with anyone that would put her on TV. So anyway, Straight from the A says that they are not dating. If you knew that, if you heard that, don't believe it. I don't know. Alabama governor won't bow down. Yeah, won't bow to politically correct nonsense and condemn Confederate statues. So she's like, we keep these statues up. We're not going to bow down to the pressure. We love the Confederates, whoever they are. I guess in a way, I kind of feel like, I think you should just be who you are. Like, I feel like if you believe that, you know, whatever you believe, I'd rather you just be who you are. So I feel like that's good that she's like, yeah, I'm here for the Confederacy. Because then you know who you're dealing with, you know? How model Winnie Harlow made history with 3 magazine covers. So, first of all, we've been seeing, I had read an article about someone who had gotten a CoverGirl ad who had, not alopecia, she ain't just whistling Dixie, not alopecia, but you know, what they say Michael Jackson had, where he had discoloration, and that's why he says that he, you know, dyed his skin so everything could be, you know, one color. Dang, I don't know, not, you know. But anyway, she had gotten ads for CoverGirl. I read an article about it. Then I saw like bits and pieces of the Confederacy of Coons. Good title. And she ain't just whistling Disky. Oh, Vitiligo. Vigiliglio. I think it's vitiligo. But y'all know what I'm talking about. So, so I read the article and then I saw like bits and pieces of the ad, and apparently she's been on 3 covers. And this is one of the young women who was on Tyra Banks' show, America's Next Top Model. Now that I didn't realize. I knew that she had someone with vitiligo on her show, but I knew she had somebody with vitiligo on her show, but I don't think I saw that cycle or whatever, so I didn't know who it was. But this is the young woman. So I do feel like there's this whole conversation about like Tyra. I think her platform, if you were to say she had a platform from watching her show, is that like, you know, sort of celebrating all beauty in all of its forms, or in way many more forms than, you know, white, blonde, skinny. You know, so I was just kind of like excited. I don't know if this young woman got her start from being associated with Tyra. I don't know if the Tyra America's Next Top Model platform helped her, but I just thought it was interesting because that is what that show seems to really, really be about. So I was happy to, you know, to see, you know, it doing, you know, what she said she wanted to do. Airport taxi drivers protest pay to work. Now, this is the worst. This is the worst situation ever. The taxi drivers are basically like, you know, by the time we working for less than minimum wage. They had to pay. The company wants them to pay each taxi person to pay $9,000 to work at the airport. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a taxi, but I have never gotten the impression that taxi drivers are just like to have $9,000 laying around. I'm not saying that that's wealthy, but I have always kind of had the feeling that taxi drivers, even, you know, 10, 15 years ago, were like, you know, lower middle class, not even like solidly middle class, like to have you know, and so they're like protesting that, like, we can't, you pay $9,000 to have access to the airport. And that's where we make money. That's where we make a lot of our good money. This isn't fair. But we found out that in this article, we found out that Port of Seattle. Okay, so this is in Seattle. That this company had paid $4,600 per driver to join the fleet. So they've already paid them $4,500 already. Plus, they pay a weekly $155 dispatch fee and a $6 per trip fee. Like, it just seems kind of like, sometimes it seems like people are just, these systems, like, they just seem like they designed to just like get, like, if you got $10, if I got $100, I'm trying to get, 9 of your $10. Oh, vitiligo. I was off. It was bothering me. Yeah. But it just seemed like they just squeezing them and squeezing them and squeezing them, and they don't seem like they just got all the, like in this country, we had this big thing where, there's just tax cuts for the rich. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the rich, like they don't need the tax cuts, and the taxi payers don't need to be, the taxi drivers don't need to be paying all this money. So I support their protests. They got to pay to work. They got to pay you to try to make money. I don't understand. Idris Elba lands surprising new role as a nanny. Have we even seen Idris Elba do something funny? It's kind of like, I kind of feel like I could kind of low-key see him doing something funny. But I don't really think of him as like, I don't know. But anyway, I was kind of surprised by that. Senate Dems block bill exempting tribal casinos from labor law. So the casinos on the, the sovereign land of the, supposedly the sovereign land of the native folks, their reservations, that they've been given, by the, make him into the rock. That they've been given by the colonizers or whatever. They have been given, I guess, the right to do these casinos or whatever. And so there's some movement for the people to not be able to unionize on the casinos. And I kind of feel like I'm all in favor of people unionizing. I'm all in favor of people organizing and working collectively and collective bargaining and all of that kind of stuff. Or most of that kind of stuff. But I'm also kind of like, I don't understand. Is it their sovereign land to do what the hell they want to do or not? Why? I don't even know why we got to vote in what they doing on their land. That's like, you don't live in my house. You don't have any say in what I'm doing in my house. I don't understand. It just seems so like the nerve. And then it's kind of like, it brings me back to Haiti. Like, okay, we fought a revolution and now we free. So as a free person, you can come to me and be like, give me your money. And you're going to pay me, give me this money now and keep giving me money until you give me, $500,000 because I'm mad because you got free. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, am I free or not? I don't understand. Why am I going along with the bull? I don't understand. I don't understand. So, right, they give them permission to have casinos, and now they telling them, yeah, y'all have to have unions on your casinos, or I don't understand. I feel like that's like a whole, like, I don't know. Can I come in your house and be like, give me your money, give me that TV? I'm trying to think, give me them box of movies, or give me leg bar. Like, can I come in your house and do that? I don't think so. I think I could come in and do that, but I don't understand. After recent police misconduct in Sacramento, right, the truth is crazier than fiction. After recent police misconduct, is it misconduct? Or is it the police just doing what police do? After recent police misconduct, this has come out to Grio. I don't like this headline. After recent police misconduct in Sacramento, Boston, and Philadelphia, here's how 3 black police chiefs failed to do the right thing. Oh, this is the article I was telling you about before. Yeah, I think they doing what they were hired to do and what they were paid to do. You know, and I think that if they don't do what they're doing, it's Mr. Conduct. Instead of misconduct, Mr. Conduct. I'd never heard that one before. I think if they don't do the thug, I don't want to call them little thugs. I don't want to call them big thugs. I don't know what the gangsters are going, you know, they letting them know we gonna kill you. We gonna kill you. Whatever, however gangsters operate, you know, they, with no honor and, you know, it's bullies. Dang. Medical students stage die-in to highlight black mental health crisis in wake of police shootings. We've been talking a lot about this whole mental health thing in connection with, you know, the violence that we experience and that we witness, you know, around us, you know, day in and day out, and the trauma connected with that. So that was kind of interesting. But this was, so 100 UC Davis. So, University of California, Davis, like there's a UC Berkeley. So I think that the UC system in California is probably like SUNY in New York, like State University of New York. Like, you know, like I think that's like their government run, you know, school system. Approximately 100 UC Davis medical students participated. They held a die-in. So Stavante recently sought mental health treatment, according to the New York Daily News, and the mayor told him, it's nothing to be ashamed of. We'll help you. Everybody wants to help you. The UC Davis students believe not enough. It's a siren or something. You know, I don't know if y'all can hear that. But the dog is like, you know, I guess dogs do this, but Bella's not doing it. Now that's an excellent challenge. I can't think of any. All of my problems stem from you. Yeah. That's deep. That's because, you know, I think philosophically I kind of have an issue with that because, you know, I kind of feel like I can't be like, you know, my whole life is jacked up because of my mother and my father and because of, you know, this one and that one. I feel like I have to be like, whatever. And I think that's what we have to do anyway. So whoever caused it, whatever caused it, this is our, you know, this the hand we got. So we can't be like, oh, white people. Oh, well. But yeah, yeah. Yeah. So they believe that it's not being enough done in black communities to help in the aftermath of shootings, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And continually, you know, I don't even feel like, you know, at least when you play cards or when I play cards, I shuffle and, you know, I deal and you get what you get. I'm not like, you know, looking at the cards like, okay, I'm going to give me the ace. I'm going to give you the 2. I'm going to give me the king. Oh, wait, I gave you a queen. Give me that queen back. You know? Or like you hustle up and win a book. And then I'd be like, oh, well, that book is canceled. Right. I'm not going to do that. We just play with what we, Okay, here it is. We're basically standing up for our community, said Asadullah Awan, a medical student. That made me think, I don't know if he's Muslim or if he's of African, his name was interesting to me. He's one of the organizers of the event, and about 100 medical students who participated. The die-in was part of a larger national movement, the school's chapter of White Coats for Black Lives. White Coats for Black Lives. Is anybody here in the medical profession? Y'all know about White Coats for Black Lives? It was created after the police shooting of Michael Brown and the death of Eric Garner. The mission of White Coats for Black Lives is to bring attention to public health crisis in Black communities and highlight how harmful these shootings are to mental health. We highlighting it to ourselves. I think it's interesting, but then as I'm reading it, I'm like, are we again going in this thing like, look, white people, this is our pain. Can you see how much pain we're in? Feel bad, do better, because I don't think it's gonna work. But anyway, okay. They also want to bring attention to fostering efforts of equality in the medical field. In honor of Clark, students held a cell phone in hand along with Black Lives Matter signs. We're demanding police accountability. We're demanding our healthcare institutions do more trauma-informed healthcare within our communities. We're all open wounds. I didn't see that last line. Approximately 40 medical schools around the country participated in the die-in. So I was just kind of like, I like the idea of people organizing, talking. I feel like we need way more Black mental health professionals. It made me wonder, like, in all of these chapters of this White Coats for Black Lives, like, are any of them at HBCUs? How are HBCUs responding to it? From watching the quads, you kind of feel like HBCUs, like a lot of Black people, are just like under day-to-day pressure just to eat, keep the electricity on, and keep your, if your shoes got holes in them, you know what I mean? Like, just like almost just surviving, not really thriving. But, fraternity, it just makes me curious to see, I would love to see, more of white mental health professionals don't understand us. Hell no. Pick up from the airports. Oh, well, no pickups from the airports. I'm like, are you watching it on another device and you listening to the old things? Because that was a long time ago when we were talking about the airport, or I was talking. See, we not talking, it's just me talking. Okay, so anyway, how the world made micro strides in curbing microbeads. So microbeads, when you do exfoliation, they're like little balls of plastic. We've been talking about plastic, how when you put your stuff in the plastic water bottles. Did you hear me when I said to you, you need to put your water in some metal or a mason jar or something, especially if you're sitting at home, wash you out a mayonnaise jar or something and put it in a jar. Stop drinking out of that plastic, especially, but Mystery Yapo. Oh, wait, Isaac, Yusuf, Yapo, and Andre, Paul, Orenthal. You stop. So plastic, we put all the stuff is plastic is just all over the food. If you had the stuff in the water bottles, the plastic water bottles, they're like little bitty microbial pieces of plastic that come into to get into your water. We were talking about the synthetic fibers I know I couldn't think of a good O. That's like OJ, right? But your mama could have named you Orenthal. I don't know. If your clothes are synthetic, whenever you wash them, you send in plastic out into the universe, not into the universe, but into the universe, into the world. The microbeads, once you wash your face, they get out there. You can't even filter them out. They're in the fish are eating them. They just in the system, like plastic is intense. You change it if your name was Orenthal. Well, you already did change it. Nobody knows your name. You're here under an alias. You should do like a numerological analysis of your name and Yappa Yappa. Because when people change their name or whatever, when people have aliases or, because, black folks always have a gazillion names. I don't. People call me Gila. Angela and Gila. I don't think I have any other names, but that's still Angela. But, most of us have a million names, or at least 2 or 3 of them. So like, there's like a certain vibration that comes with that. That's actually fast, like, numerologically, it's pretty interesting, I think. So oh my God. They not going to put Idris in a dress to be the nanny. He's probably going to be very masculine. Well, I don't know, because that's an interesting point, because I like it too. That's an interesting point because he is so, masculine and so like, like his carriage is like very like regal. So I guess, there is a theory out here about, kind of demeaning and emasculating, some people. So maybe that's the, Demarcius, Odillion, Deandron, Quayshawn, Tyrone, Jackson. That's why you my girl. See, we see Alexa too. The Lost Levels is a game about shock, grief, and powerlessness. We probably don't have any gamers on the line today, but people who play games, like when I play video games or when I used to play like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, y'all know that's like back in the day. Or that other game where the things would just be, and you would just shoot them, and it would just be like these things going across the stream. And I don't know if it's a film. I think it's a TV show. I didn't even call up what it was that he was, he's gotten some deal. We have to Google, Idris Nanny and see if, I think it's like a TV show, but I don't know. But, it's like when you play video games, it's like a point. Like, you got to shoot as many of those things that are going across the screen as possible, where you shoot certain ones and they have high values. You want to get the most points, or, you want to get through the maze without getting eaten up by the ghost, but you also want to get the extra points, or, whatever. They have like a point. Now, this game is called Lost Level, and maybe some games have the point of just being beautiful. I don't know. But this game is called Lost Level. And the person who created the game because his brother made his transition. And it's like basically him dealing with the grief of his brother. It's like many hard situations. What African? Africa is a continent. Good afternoon, Bonafide 1970. Thank you for the flower. Nigerian. Oh, it actually sounds, it sounded like a real word to me, but I never looked it up. But you know what? Like this whole, like, if you aren't pissed off and hard situations, I don't know. I mean, I don't know you, but I guess, like your sense of humor and that, like, there's like a lightness and like a, it makes me like feel like, why are there many hard situations? Why aren't there many wonderful situations? I don't know. I just kind of feel like, I don't know. It makes me feel a certain way, but if I like it, you love it, it's good. So the Lost Level is just like, it's no point to the game. You can't win. No matter what you do, you can't change it. It's just, and I don't like those kind of games. Now, I do kind of feel like there is something to be said for attitude adjustment. Like, you can't change other things, but you can change you. So I don't know if that is the point of the game. I know. We need a good acronym for oh, did you see, you ain't on Twitter, cuz that badass, there's a what is it of African roots. There was it's not Doaya, but it's badasses, black African descendants of slaves and sharecroppers. But anyway, I just thought, like, it's like like the Barnard organization. When I went to Barnard, it was called the Barnard Organization of Black Women. But back in the day, it was called B.O.B.s. And I was like, oh, I love that. The Barnard Organization of Soul Sisters. I think they've gone back to that name. I was like, that is fire. I love that. I was the only one. I kept trying to get people, because I'm like, what the hell does B.O.B.W mean? B.O.B.W, what does it mean? But, I want a good acronym for, I don't like calling out. We've been talking. I'm finished. I'm going to leave it alone. But I need a good acronym. It's a game about powerlessness, shock, and grief. We are bad people, though. Shut your mouth. I like to deal with the hand that I'm dealt, and I like to have fun with it too. It don't matter, because it's a game. I'm not going to I remember like one of the first retreats I went on as a professional, one of the first companies I worked for, it was started by two in nonprofits. It was started by two young Black men, and so one of them was like very like Mr. Personality, like he was just he is very charismatic and just Mr. Personality. And then his partner was not so charismatic, although his partner is on TV now, so go figure. We need positive acronyms as tools for upliftment. Okay, so you're playing spades. B.O.B.s. I guess I know how to play spades. It's a couple little rules in spades I don't get. Guiding Light of Black Entrepreneurs, one of my acronyms. Okay. I think acronyms could, like, when we talk about like our own, like, taking the language and using it for us, it's like you could like be talking in acronyms, and it's like your own language. I guess every profession and community has their own language in a way. So the first retreat we went on, we were playing cards, and he was losing. And I was like just so surprised how like very depressed he got that he lost at cards. I'm like, who plays cards to not have fun? I want to say his name so bad, but I'm like, I guess him. It was like he felt like it wasn't really funny, because it was like I could feel his pain, and he felt like he was losing the game, and he was losing at life. And it was like, you're winning. It's okay. Here, just take my cards. Like, it's okay. It was, yeah. So yeah, loss level, it isn't beautiful or challenging, competitive or replayable. It isn't even fun. But when other games inject you into an entirely fictional world, the loss level plants you firmly in this one. I've seen that before. Oh, always remember you are a queen king. Oh, you've probably posted it before. Because I was going to say, I've seen that go across chats before. But I'd have to hear it said. Because now I'll have to look back and look at it and try to say it. Because I still don't have Doia. Doi. His roots are gaming. It explores countless what ifs. Okay. 15 mini games. Dang, it was one part where they just really went into it, and it's fast-paced and intense. Thematically, you get an experience that's completely removed from what you would anticipate this kind of thing to be. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But it didn't. It sounded kind of like depressing. Okay. Confused UN envoy Nikki Haley hits back at the White House. Now they say this child, before she make any statements, she check it and double check it with zero. And then she checked it and double checked it because that's what she do. That's what she always do. And then she went and made the statement. And then he do what he's known to do. They like, oh, she messed up. She's confused. Oh, I guess it's confused. And so she's hitting back. Watch LA Fitness call cops on black men. So these two headlines I think are connected. Let me know if y'all know, because it's been a while since I put these articles up. Friends swap sneakers to expose Dallas club's discriminatory Air Jordan ban. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, they're going to a club, like, in the club. But now when I saw the next headline, I'm like, oh, maybe it was a fitness club. And so it seems like from the headline, I haven't read the article, that the club had a policy. I really need to always remember that you are a queen. Yes. That the club had a policy of no Air Jordans, but I guess it's like no Air, is it Air Jordans? Air Jordans. No Air Jordans for black people. Because when the black people, they say no Air Jordans, it's a sign. They say right here, no Air Jordans, you can't come, that's for you can't come in. But then when the white person put on the Air Jordan, because I'm a Scorpion, right? That's my nature. That's what I do. But you know what I love about that story? Well, how I like to hear the story and tell it, how the Scorpion is like, you be like, no, I'm not right. The turtle is like, no, And the Scorpion is like, yeah, I'm not going to bite you. Like, the Scorpio has game. The Scorpion, not Scorpio. Scorpios sometimes have game too. But I mean, it's just like, you can't believe everything you hear. Just because something sounds good, it may not be good. You gotta, use your other senses, not just your ears. But I just imagine that Scorpio just talking up a storm. So they switched. So I guess the black people went. And they were like, you can't come in because you got on them Air Jordans. We have no Air Jordan policy. So then they went and they switched, and the white person came in, or whoever came in with the Air Jordans. And they were like, come on in, sir. Welcome. Have a good workout. Turkey's President Erdogan calls snap election in June. So this snap election in June is 18 months earlier than, the election was scheduled to be. So I almost feel like he just like, oh, let's have an election. Let's just go on and have it tomorrow and just, get it out the way. How you having elections 18 months early? Erdogan in Turkey, who came here and had your security people beating the people down, then suing the people. That's why it's a snap election. Oh, snap. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I guess I've already, somewhere along the way, I think I already more or less withdrew. Like, I really don't spend money unless I have to or unless I want to. And I really try, if I have to spend it someplace, I try to, be as selective as I can. But I'm not, like, I feel like, now I haven't, I guess the last gym that I was trying to be a part of, they had a steam room and a sauna, and it's hard to find a black, the people went to the gym, and the gym said, you can't come in because you black. I mean, you can't come in because you got on Air Jordans. We have a no Air Jordan policy. And then the white people came with the Air Jordans. They were like, come on in. Welcome to LA Fitness. So was that the LA Fitness story? I know it just seemed like I was rambling and talking about nothing, but I was actually trying to tell you the story. I was trying to reenact it from what I imagined from the headline. Is that what happened at LA Fitness? LA Fitness, isn't that the same chain that the rapper from yeah. I think that there's a rapper all black gyms needed, Yeah, because I was gonna say there are certain places where I like to work out because I like a sauna and steam room, and usually they're gonna be more established because new places don't deal with saunas and steam rooms because nobody want to do the upkeep, and then you have to worry about people get Jim Jones. Was Jim Jones was that LA Fitness too? Because he said that he felt that he was being racially profiled and having some issue. I'm like, I don't know why you giving money to I'm showing you how bad they're treating me. Just keep your money in your pocket. Give your money to somebody who gonna appreciate, I think it was LA Fitness. But I don't think any of them are better or worse. Unless they have a sauna and a steam room, then that's better. Because I'm a Scorpion. You're beyond it? I don't know. I still get stung. Because the South. Yeah, I'll have to. It's coming off of the story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star, and it's also coming off. Both stories are coming off of Atlanta Black Star, so I believe it's the same story. I don't know, girl. I like a steam room and a sauna, and then I start feeling guilty because I'm like, I only come here and I go to the steam room and the sauna, so I'm gonna walk around the track, and then I start training. But it's been so long since I've been in a gym. Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, both stories were coming off of Atlanta Black Star, so you can hit Atlanta Black Star to see. Maybe you could give us the update. I closed my thing accidentally. Sorry. Okay. Autistic teens Lego Titanic replica on display in US. I don't know why I love to see the Lego art. It's just so impressive to me. And his little boat was really, really impressive. Or I should say little boat. It was like a big, it looked substantial. I just looked at the picture on the little thumbnail. But I love Lego artwork. But it's made out of plastic. I should boycott it. Puerto Rico is experiencing an island-wide blackout. I don't know why, but I've seen a couple of headlines about it. Iceland's Bitcoin heist suspect flees on Prime Minister's plane. VW's fast EV charging network is headed to Walmart parking lots. So we've been talking about these cars and where you charge them. So Volkswagen is going to have, their charging ports at Walmart, which I think is a good... It just spiraled out of control. That's what had happened. Things just spiraled out. It was just a big misunderstanding. Maybe they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Keep them Negroes on the run. How do you heist Bitcoin? It's a digital currency. Like, weren't you the one? Well, somebody was talking yesterday about how when people are doing those scams, they want you to pay them in Bitcoin. Isn't that like a heist? Like a mini heist? Like ransomware. You you give me money or else I'm going to show everybody, these pictures or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know, but that's coming off of bbc.co.uk. So I think that it's a good business plan to go to the parking lot of Walmart, and then you could go inside and shop at Walmart while your car charges. I don't know how long does it take to, it's just untraceable. Right? I don't know. Right. I'm still confused. I think, I guess we are going to hit these technological walls, or maybe some of us will never hit technological walls. I'm not going to hit a technological wall. I decided I'm going to be able to understand everything eventually, sooner rather than later. But I haven't reached that understanding yet. I don't understand the whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency anything at all. And I kept hoping it was going to go away. So you go to the Walmart while you're charging your car. Does it take 15 minutes to charge? Does it take an hour to charge? 3 hours? I don't really know how it works. But down south, the Walmarts, for the most part that I saw, were 24 hours. Wait, there were 3 in town. I think one was, shoot, I love the sauna and the steam room. That's the whole point. So I don't know how long, we had the same hope about Zero, but we see how that turned out. About charging him at Walmart, about, the heist, about Puerto Rico, I don't know. So I think it's a good business plan on their part. If I had a VW, I would be going to the Walmart to charge, but I would not go inside the Walmart to shop because I don't care for Walmart. But I don't know, you know. Yeah, I was hoping it would go away. I was. And then it's like, I don't even know what difference it makes, whether it's Zero or Pence or Obama. It's all some bull. So what difference does it make? But I think it's something about him that just makes me feel even worse. You know? I don't know why. It should make me feel better because he's just blatant. And I just said, I'd rather you just tell me in my face that you can't stand me. And he like, I can't stand you. And I'm like, oh. Well, he just said he can't stand me. Can't he be nice to me? So I don't know. I guess I don't want... It's like, it's awful. Snap elections are cool. Right, the rules don't apply. The rules apply to you, not to me. I do whatever in the world I want to do. Rules, those are for y'all. We're the 1%. It's like, this is my ball. I can take my ball and go at any time, and I will if things aren't going the way that and I'll change the rules too. Diddy, caught, as in P. Diddy, as in Puff Daddy, as in Puff, as in Puffy, as in, it's not Meta World Peace. What is his new name? Brother Natural? I don't know. Diddy calls on black folks to, I guess that people haven't embraced the new name. He can't control himself. I know. I should feel better about it. I'm going to have a talk with my feelings because I don't feel good about it. He ain't even pretending. Diddy calls on black folks to take ownership of hip-hop culture. If we don't own our culture, then we have nothing. I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, well, what does it mean? Ooh. I didn't read the article. It's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. But I'm like, yeah, we should take ownership of our culture. I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know. Doesn't he advertise like Ciroc? Is that how? Let me just shut up. Maybe I'm gonna read the article and get enlightened so that I can receive, the wisdom from Brother Diddy. Update: Harvard student remains hospitalized after police beating. 2 black professors take his case. Zimbabwe sacks thousands of nurses on strike. I have an issue with grown-butted men who call themselves by street names. Really? I feel like I need a street name. I don't know what it is. Jews control hip-hop for almost 30 years now. Yeah. Well, I mean, one way to look at the street names or I feel like it is very, like, black folks have, if you ever spend time around black folks, and people have a whole bunch of names. So it's like, it's just like what we do. Lil Scarfy. Lil Hoodie, because I like to wear hoods. Oh. Blackout, that's just a shame. But out in society, I'm just scandalized. What is your name? What did your mother name you? What did your mother name you, young man? I'm not calling you Diddy, Puff, Puffy. Right. But I do feel like he is a performer. Like my mother performs under, she has a performance name. My mother has a lot of names. She has her first name, her middle name, and her last name. Her maiden name, her maiden and her married last name. She has an African name, Tamu Tamu, which is like sweet. But Tamu Tamu, I don't know what language it is, but that means like totally sweet, like sweet, sweet. She performs under her mother's name, so her stage name is that name. She's married again, so she has another last name, except for the last name has 2 different variations. Young black thug, murder freak, rap daddy. Who is that? And she might have some other name too. So when I get upset with her, I use all of the names to let her know I'm serious. I'm not playing. Right. Get land, access to water, some sunshine, and be happy. Now the thing about this water, and I was watching the thing about this water and this land is that it's hard to isolate because land and water are actually connected. Like water flows and is connected underground. And even like when I was trying to grow stuff, when you grow corn pollinates with wind. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting non-GMO corn. I'm getting me some, But if my neighbor is growing corn that is GMO, genetically modified, the wind, it's like I can't separate myself from you're not going to harass me with just this name stuff now. Dang, it was something else. I'm having 3 conversations with myself at the same time. Not with myself, but it's kind of with myself. I like young scar black. Hoodie, little hood, something. Yeah, not only the names of these people. What's your real name? What's your real name? I used to try to have a nickname. How much did they charge for charging? They didn't say anything about how much they were charging. Or I don't know. In the headline, it didn't say. And I skimmed the article. I didn't notice anything about charging. I tried to get Peppy to catch on as a nickname, like Peppy, but it didn't catch on. I tried to be like black in that way, but I never had. It's very sad. Zimbabwe sacks thousands of nurses on strike. So the first paragraph is like, well, they fired them so that they could then hire them back or something like that. Like they were firing them because they were trying to help them. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't really read the article, but I'm kind of like, don't be firing me to try to help me. If you're trying to help me, then pay me what I'm asking. Dreddy Scotty Yapo, Nat Jefferson. 3 Princeton grads just got $133 million from Silicon Valley's hottest investors for a cryptocurrency that could actually replace money. That's when I just got really, I don't want to say depressed today, but I'm like, dang, they talking about cryptocurrency is going to replace money. It's not going away. Didn't I tell it to go away yesterday? Okay, I got to accept it. I don't know how I'm going to start trying to learn about, because I still haven't learned how to program. I haven't learned, when I was in high school, I learned basic, but I need to learn some programming languages, computer programming languages, and about cryptocurrency. Kansas firefighter reinstated after hurling racial slurs, spitting on 3-year-old at Hooters. So y'all heard about the story. So the person has been, they got their job back because they ain't doing nothing. I mean, that's like what they like. That's cool. That ain't, we good, do you, boo? Cuba nominates Castro replacement Miguel Diaz-Canel. Almost everyone in a photo of Southwest. Yeah, that's going to be your code word. Like when I was on your live the other night, and I kept trying to like repositivize everything. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is wearing me out. This is like a job here. You just going to say scorpion. 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 I was saying SSDD. Same stuff, different day. I was just about to say that. But yeah, scorpion. But that's, yeah, scorpion. Almost everyone in a photo of Southwest emergency landing. Taking ownership of our culture is a real conversation piece. Yeah. I might read the article. Because, when I thought about it, I thought about jazz and the fact that, a lot of, jazz, I thought about the fact that, like, if you go to, like, a jazz festival, a lot of times it's not, like, a lot of black folks. Like, we have Montreux Jazz here, which I haven't been to really in years. I think last year I walked through. Too many sellouts, though. But then also, like, in terms of, like, rap or hip hop or whatever, who the record companies chose to, promote and pay and big up and support, and who, like, did not get that support. So who's able to, like, live, large, although they really not living large, and who's out here struggling, trying to say the right thing and do the right thing. Like, wear your Jimmy cap. Like, it used to be, like, I used to know some people who were, like, relatively conscious, and it seemed like I went to somebody's concert about 15, 20 years ago. But, and then there was, like, I remember having this conversation with somebody or reading something, and they were like, the music industry started in investing in private prisons at the same time that wait, what's on now? Are you on? Okay. Yeah, so that the music industry executives started investing in private prisons at the same time that, like, this whole, like, I'm a gangster rap thing got really big, and they started investing in certain types of, artists and certain types of, messages that supported getting more people involved with, that kind of stuff. Almost everyone in a photo of Southwest emergency. It's on that I found the icon. It's on that I found the icon. ICON. So the Southwest, the engine blew out yesterday. They say it has something to do with the fan, something disengaged and something, and they had to make an emergency landing. One person made their transition. May they rest in peace, the last I heard. But a flight attendant was looking at the pictures of the people as they were getting off. I think your eye is conning you. A flight attendant was looking at images of the folks getting off the plane, and she like almost everybody's, oxygen mask was on wrong. So if they had really needed the oxygen, they wouldn't have gotten it because they had put the mask on wrong. Do you listen when you fly? Do you listen and really pay attention to the flight instructions? When I first started flying 25, 30 years ago, I used to, and then I realized it kind of made me anxious, like, oh my gosh, and so I try not to pay attention to it. So I don't know if I know how to put the thing on properly or not. The next time I get on a plane, I'm going to look, though, just because I saw that, I guess. Eric Holder, I'm considering running for president. Eric Holder was the the first attorney general that Obama appointed. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, blast stereotype, all athletes are cheaters amid Tristan Thompson scandal. And at first I'm like, well, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Of course he's, Yeah. It seems like the MBAs and the MBA oriented people for the most part are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He can't talk. Was he unfaithful? It seems like most of the MBAs and I don't know if it's true, but you get the impression that they're oriented to getting jobs in corporate America, not so much toward entrepreneurship. I think there are like a few programs like that kind of focus on that, but for the most part, they seem to be about getting jobs in corporate America. So I wouldn't. I just figured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was like, a whole next level athlete. I mean, I don't know if he is or he isn't, but I just figured that he was because it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So like, of course he didn't cheat. Of course his ice water is colder. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know. But I did like the idea of that conversation. And, kind of exploring the idea and the possibility that, there are honorable people in the world. And there are people who, just because somebody gives you an opportunity doesn't mean you have to engage in that. Just because somebody is throwing whatever at you doesn't mean you have to catch it. And there are some people, even some people who are athletes who, are mature and making choices based on, what they want as opposed to what happens to be thrown at them. So that's what I liked about it. I mean, I don't know. Some people are immature and young-minded and young in their consciousness, but, that's not everybody. I hope. A woman says she was fat shamed by doctors who ignored her symptoms, and it turned out she had cancer. People ignore, when you black, when you women, when you talk to the people, they don't listen to you. You ain't got, who let the dogs out? Woof, woof. They just next door, just probably barking at a bird or somebody walking down the street. Snapchat sponsored filters are now a lot more like ads. Y'all know, I think Snapchat is the one that Rihanna was like, oh, I don't think your joke about would you rather punch Rihanna, beat Rihanna, or whatever your little joke is, it's not funny, I'm leaving Snapchat. Then somebody else left Snapchat that was famous or whatever. I think that's Snapchat. So they need money. So now instead of like I've seen the filters where it's like, oh, you got flowers over your head, or you got a puppy nose, or I don't know, those are probably old filters. They probably got like new ones now, but you see the filters. But I guess now the filters are going to be like Exxon Mobil. I don't know, but they say they're more like ads. They trying to make money because they losing money. 5 reasons I'm calling BS on the Starbucks unconscious bias training. Because it's BS? Because it is BS. Because it is BS? Because it's BS? Because it's BS. What are the 5 reasons? I didn't read the article. I'm like, I don't know if we need 5 reasons. Full benefits, 6-figure salaries, 401ks, and nutritionists. 2 professionals reveal what it's really like to be paid to play video games for a living. We were just talking about this whole gamer culture. And how it's just like blew up and didn't nobody tell me. They living large playing games. Out here playing games. I guess that's what athletes do. A fitness blogger's struggle to quickly lose her pregnancy weight proves that bouncing back isn't always possible. She says she be feeling bad about herself because she ain't getting skinny real quick. And, after her baby, her body has changed. I don't know how come, we done let people sell us this mess about women's bodies. But like, of course your body is different after you have a baby. Enough of these women. Enough! How I went from Compton to Google. Yesterday, I had 32 ounces of water. I had 6 servings of fruits and vegetables. 3 roasted broccoli. 3 servings of roasted broccoli and string beans. Ooh, that roasted broccoli. I mean, it's just, When I became a vegetarian, and for years, broccoli was like like, you know, when I was out in the world, I could almost always just get steamed broccoli. If I couldn't get nothing else, I could always get steamed broccoli. So that was like my safe meal. I knew steamed broccoli, it wasn't no sauce. It wasn't, I knew what that is. And some people thought that's all I ate, broccoli. Although I do really love broccoli, but I don't really, but I do really love it. So I'm enjoying it. 2 dates and 1 apple. The Rock threatened to quit Rampage unless the ending was changed. Well, it must be nice to be The Rock. He's setting terms. He like, my people come to see me. Isn't he like the highest paid movie star of all time, or modern current highest paid movie star actor, something? He said the people come to see me. When they come to see me, they want a happy ending. This Rampage, I don't even know what it is. They like this. This Rampage is not up to my fans' standards. They're gonna be disappointed. So I'm gonna quit if you don't change it. So y'all gotta rewrite this. I don't know what happened. The tragic story of Daphne Caruana Galizia, a Maltese Panama Papers journalist, assassinated in a car bombing. So I don't know if y'all remember, but these Panama Papers, it's been like maybe a year or 2 years, and they had come out and the journalists were going through them, and it would be like this story coming up here and this story coming up here. It was like a lot of information, and it was never... So anyway, she was doing some research and some work with the Panama Papers, and she had, you know, as journalists will, you know, was telling some stories that some people didn't want her to tell, you know, apparently. No, I think it's The Rock. I think I saw that like within the last 4 or 6 months. I definitely don't think it's Idris or Denzel. I mean, what's the last thing we saw him in? That movie that I didn't see that I wanted to see, where he was a lawyer? Fences. He directed that and acted in it. But those were not like big ticket movies. I don't even go see The Rock in anything. Like, I guess his brand is not... I'm not here. I mean, I don't hate him. Like, if it was on the TV free, I guess I'd look at it, I guess. I probably wouldn't. Now, have I seen anything with The Rock in it? Roman Esquire. Roman S. Esquire. Yeah. But I don't think I might look it up. YouTube details how its updates help creators get paid. Y'all think that's propaganda? So they worried that some more creators are gonna go and be wilding out at the YouTube headquarters. So they like, we just stay home. We gonna help you get paid. You gonna be paid in full. Just stay home. Don't be coming to the YouTube headquarters. They need to cast Inshallah. Who is Inshallah? Was he the daddy or the main character? That's terrible that I don't know. The uncle. Who was the uncle? Sterling K. Brown. What was his character's name? I only saw the movie once. I know a lot of people out there done saw the movie 10, 20, 15 million times. I only saw it once. That's like The Color Purple. People quote The Color Purple. Now, some of the quotes I know. Which character from Black Panther? Some of the quotes I know, but some of them I'd be like, The Color Purple. I'm like, yeah, I saw it. Well, I've seen it twice now, but I don't know that by heart. What's the other one people always quote? Godfather. I've never seen that. People be quoting. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. India's swing in favor of girls. Black teacher tries to escape raging racist during road rage incident, only to be followed and further attacked. SSDD. Oh, Scorpion. It's like I was trying to think. I couldn't even come up with it. Inmate. Body stacked. So I'm sorry to hear that. You know. Oh, I think I've seen like 1 or maybe 2 Rocky movies. Inmate body stacked in Macabre woodpile in South Carolina prison riot. So we were talking about that prison rebellion thing going on. The real story behind MoviePass's location tracking controversy. They say that's some pre-written stuff from Apple. We chose the option, but we was never tracking the people. We was never tracking you. Virginia man shoots himself in the leg with stolen gun, then blames imaginary black man. I thought this was an old story, but it's a new story. We keep hearing the story. New Jersey firefighter claims Facebook account was hacked after months of racist posts surface. No Star Wars. I'm the only one on Earth. Yeah, I think I've seen them like once, but not like a million times. So that's it for this edition of Notes on the News Feed. I am so tired. Good. He shouldn't have stolen the gun. But the blaming of the imaginary black man, I guess that's whatever, I don't know. That's their fallback story. They were scared for their life, and it was a black man did it. It wasn't me. It was a black man. It wasn't me. It was a black man. So yeah, that's what I got today. I was up at like 5 this morning, so I'm about to go get some rest. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you for being here. All of the people who are here. And love like the sun. The sun is unconditional love. Bye, fam. Peace.